All right, so this is the geometry in question here, I
Yes.
believe.
Mm-hmm.
So it, in this case, it placed tabs on it. That's just based on my rules that I have. I'll go ahead and delete those off so we can just look at what the geometry is doing. And all right, so this is a shape. We'll change priority to geometry. And so this segment here in the blue is showing what is detecting as cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what it's going to be reading in the G code. It's going to read this line that's, a 5-inch radius, half-inch arc length, and it's going to read a line of code that's this long. So these are all lines of code like this.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, I don't know if how broken up you get typically, if this is more or less or the same. But it does not read this as one singular line of code, one arc. It does read this as, probably about, maybe 10 or 12
Sure.
lines.
And that's not necessarily an issue, I don't think. I'm not terribly familiar with and fully understand exactly what the big issue is, but my understanding is that it's basically making, when you export from SolidWorks to a DWG, it's not creating it as a spline. It's creating it as a just multiple singular lines, straight segment lines. So then when that gets imported into ProNest and whatnot directly, it's also making the laser, I think, kind of pause and pierce and move up and down between each of those straight lines. So then when they redraw it in AutoCAD, it's still technically multi-segmented, but it's drawn properly so that it recognizes that it's a smooth, continuous contour of some sort. So basically, the question is in this case, is the laser going to recognize that this is a continuous profile, not pause and raise and change directions based off of these multiple segments?
Yes. So if I have my priority for clicking set to toolpath, I can click on this and it recognizes this as one toolpath. So this is one pierce, one lead in, one cut direction, no head raising, it's just pierce, cut. Now, if I change my priority to geometry, this is breaking it up to show you
Yeah.
how it's reading it as multiple lines of code, but not in the way you're describing at first, where it's going to do a bunch of wild stuff. It knows that this is one cutout. This is one opening. It's just, it doesn't, this isn't a constant radius arc. So instead of breaking up into,
It's got nodes and vectors in it that are segmented. That makes sense.
yes.
That's typical for a spline, which is fine.
Yep. So that's how that worked.
Okay. So that would completely potentially bypass that particular issue. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yep, and that was coming from the 3D side of things. So.
Mm-hmm.